guys, it's Nick and Gia, and we just went to Bana Hills. My lovely mother came out to all the way from Chicago, and she came out to see us for a week and a half. And we decided to save all our sightseeing for her. So we just went to Bana Hills, and it was an incredible experience.
The best way to think about Bana Hills Sun World is kind of like the Vietnamese version of Disney. The biggest focus really isn't the ride. It's more of like maybe like an Epcot, or it's like a cultural experience, I guess. It's very much like kind of like a European style or European themed amusement park. And it was very, very cool, and one of the highlights of our trip to Vietnam so far.
Mm-hmm. So we actually booked our tour through Klook. We found a tour that gives you a shuttle from Da Nang, and it's about a 30-minute shuttle from the city beach side all the way to Bana Hills. It's about 30 minutes east of the beach. And we got a shuttle, and it included our ticket, and it was about 30 to 40 per person. Probably 40, okay.
Which the ticket alone, I think, is like 30. So it was like $10 for all the extras, which just made it so much more convenient. So I would highly recommend doing it that way, honestly.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend getting a shuttle, because we looked at Grab, and with the ride sharing app, it was about 13 USD to go from the city center to the amusement park. So definitely it's just easier to do like a shuttle, you get transport, you kind of have everything set and ready to go. Especially, it's nice to do it through a company, especially if you don't have a motorbike.
So then once we got to Bana Hills, it was actually the most seamless ticketing system of any theme park I've ever been to. From the moment that we parked in the parking lot to actually being in the theme park was 15 minutes, 10 minutes at that. You just walk up, you show a QR code, scan, you're in. Very easy. I've been to Universal Studios before, and their whole process is archaic compared to how they do it at Bana Hills. It was very, very seamless. And they put you on this really cool cable car, and it takes maybe 20 minutes, honestly, but they bring you up an entire mountain, and you get to see these panoramic views of the Vietnamese mountains, the countryside, and it was absolutely beautiful. As we were coming in, the fog started to roll over, and about halfway through our cable car ride, you couldn't see anything. It was like we were just floating in the air going through these clouds, and it was kind of scary, but it was also one of the most beautiful things I've seen.
And the cable car is very, very, very modern. It's very well done, and you can tell they put a lot of money into the park. And you actually have to take a cable car to get to all of the cool stuff. There is nothing on the first level. So you have to take the cable car first to get up even into the mountains where it's cooler. And like we said, there was a lot of fog. So one of the things that we did not prepare for was the weather. It gets cold in the mountains. Who knew? Who knew that the higher up you go, it gets cold? We just weren't thinking.
Freezing, and then if you throw a little bit of rain and misting in that we got, it was frigid. I wore a t-shirt and some shorts, and I was cold the whole time. But it was still fun. But if you ever go, maybe bring a book bag and have a long sleeve in there, something that you can change it to. But yeah, it was very, very cool. And so once you get up to the first cable car, you get put in an area, and it's gonna have a walkway and these the hands that are super famous in Vietnam. And so there's 3 or 4 different areas, and each one is separated by these cable cars. And so all the stations are based off of different names in France. You'll go from Marseille station to the Louvre station or whatever. And so that's really cool. And that kind of goes in with the theme, where there's 3 main villages, right? There's the medieval village, a French village, and then there's more of a classical Asian village.
And honestly, in my opinion, I think the hands were at the bottom of the list, surprisingly. We expected the hands to be at the very top, but I think seeing all of the architecture, it was very beautiful. It felt like you were transported to France.
Yeah, the hands are still beautiful and worth seeing, but there's just so much to do in Bana Hills, and we're gonna show a bunch of clips kind of throughout this video. But it's worth the money just to go and walk around, because you get to see these beautiful Parisian buildings, these churches, and then you get to go to the medieval land and see maybe, of course, it's a sensationalized version, but kind of how Europe looked maybe in the 1700s. And then once you think that there's everything and you've done everything and you're about to leave, we found the Asian area. And you go up these paths and then there's these beautiful gardens with like Buddhas made out of shrubs and flowers everywhere, Japanese pagoda, bridges, koi pond, so much really, really cool stuff.
One of the best things that we did in between visiting the different areas was hitting a buffet. Actually, all of the food in the amusement park is a buffet.
Each one is themed with a different country. So there's like an Indian buffet, hot pot, Korean barbecue, all that.
Sushi.
We went for the hot pot personally.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't find the Indian.
We really wanted the Indian one, but we couldn't find it.
Of course, we found it right after we already ate, but
yeah. But it's interesting that buffets here in Asia are seen as a luxury item.
Yes. They're not like kind of gross how they are back in the States.
Right. And this is no Golden Corral. This is top tier. Like, this is no shade to Golden Corral. Golden Corral is very delicious. R.I.P.
It was delicious. There was everything, like all kinds of super fresh meat, super fresh seafood, every vegetable you could imagine, soups, even ice cream. It was great. We couldn't recommend it more. And all the buffets are similarly priced. I think $250,000 per person, which is high for Vietnam, but not bad for an amusement park. In America, you'd be paying $20 for a corn dog. So.
And how much is that USD?
Like $8 to $10 for all you can eat buffet, hot pot situation. Not bad at all. All right, those are our thoughts about Ba Na Hills. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video shortly.